Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, 2020. Remember, we can also write that as 5-27-2020. And let's go ahead and put our little number up on our calendar. So we are still in the month of May for a couple more days. It is the 27th, and the year is 2020. And our season is still spring. We're noticing that the weather is starting to get warmer. We're getting a lot more rain showers, which happens a lot as weather is changing. We may start to notice some thunderstorms coming in as the weather continues to change. It's going to start getting nice and warm, and we should be getting ready for pool time or bringing out the sprinklers and bringing out the little pools at home. Today is Wednesday, yesterday was Tuesday, and tomorrow is going to be Thursday. And today for our theme work, we're going to continue working on Boom Learning from now on. And we're going to be talking about that weather and what we're expecting in different seasons, what that weather is going to be like, just like what we were talking about for what we're noticing in spring right now. Now we also know in the summertime it's going to be really hot. You get a whole lot of thunderstorms, and sometimes you see one of my favorite kind of thunderstorms. You see that heat lightning up in the sky, which kind of looks like little fireworks, and it's all happening up in those clouds, and you don't really get a whole bunch of rain underneath. We do get a lot of just regular thunderstorms as well. Then we go into fall, like when we start up school, and we're going to notice that those temperatures are starting to get a little bit cooler. We start to see those leaves start to change colors and begin to fall, and it starts to get a lot chillier out. You have to start wearing your coats again. And then we go into winter where it gets really cold. You might see a lot of snow. In some places you'll see blizzards, which we talked about a little bit. And that's going to be where it's really windy and it's snowing out. And then we get to come back around to spring where temperatures are beginning to rise again. It starts to get warmer. Our trees are blooming, our flowers are blooming. We start to see the creatures that were hibernating coming out of their hibernation or flying back up north like our birds. And our weather starts to get nicer again, and we get back to this time. And it just keeps on going around in a cycle. For special today, we're going to have music. For our math, we're going to keep up with that Boom Learning, which is something that you can do while you're in there doing your theme work. So you can go ahead and finish up that weather deck that you're working on, and then you can dive into some of that math work and do some of your language arts work. And just kind of get it all done in one time if you'd like to. There are so many decks available to you on there, and I'm continuing to add more as we move on. That way we can kind of switch things up and do something different each time. If you have not finished your math book, I want you to be working on that. Do not forget to send in your homework page so I know where you're at, I know what you're doing, and I can make sure that those videos are coming to you in that time. If I'm not seeing any assignments in, as far as I know, things aren't getting done. I don't want to overwhelm you with videos. So please let me know where you're at and complete my homework pages and turn them in on Google Classroom so I can see where you're at. I can give you the feedback and we can move on. For language arts, we are going to reread My Trip to Yellowstone and go over a few of those comprehension questions that we weren't able to cover today and look at some more comprehension questions. We're going to take a look at those words that we're going to be noticing, like Yellowstone National Park. We're going to see them a lot, but they are bigger words, which is why we go over them at the beginning so that we can recognize it as we read it. We also had waterfall, which is water falling down a cliff. For example, we had that really big waterfall in the story that was 308 feet tall. We also noticed the word fountain, which is like a geyser of water shooting up out of the water or out of the ground. And we had beautiful, which is something that is really pretty or amazing. Another word that I noticed that we kind of got stuck on was water, and that is going to be W-A-T-R. So this is water, and I want you guys to work on that one a little bit more. So go ahead and look at Google Classroom in the language arts meetings. You can find that book and you can read that before we get started. And you can also look at those slides that I posted from yesterday, and you can go over those words, look at what those comprehension questions are so that you're ready and you can read with a purpose today in our meeting. Since today is Wednesday, I can be meeting with the yellow math book people. So if you're working in the yellow math book and you want to sign in for some extra review or go over some of your lessons, you can meet with me from 3 to 3:30 on the yellow math book, and you can find all that login information on Google Classroom. I will also be doing a few more one-on-one sessions. If you haven't looked at the schedule yet, please look at it so that you know when your one-on-one session is. We'll be meeting for about 30 to 45 minutes roughly in our meetings. And just make sure that you're signing into Boom Learning, doing those decks, signing into Raz Kids, and doing some reading. I uploaded some more assignments and some more books to read all about different kinds of weather into Raz Kids, so you can read things related to what we're going over this week. You can also pick out any books that you would like to further your reading and your interests as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on the Class Dojo messages or send me an email, and I will see you all at 1. Bye, guys.